Once again, we have the ordinance from September 11th. And give you an opportunity to read through those, and if there's a motion to approve the minutes, I will move to approve the minutes. Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Robin, oh, I'm sorry. I also have the financial report, again, Robin, could you tell us about anything unusual here?
Yes, Jim. Again, this is for the 2 months combined, September and October of 2025. We started out with a balance of $1,159,425 in both cash and CDs combined. We brought in some interest on the loans, and we had a fees earned from a loan application. We brought in principal on our BAC loans and our green loans, and then you'll see that Adele Collective actually, because she did rescind her application, she did pay the legal fees and whatnot that we had occurred. And then we ended up the month with $875,106 in the bank and cash, and $376,495 as in the CD.
Any additions, corrections, or discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the financial report as submitted.
Motion to approve financial report as
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And as we did for the IDA, I'd entertain a motion to have Scott Gardner authorized as a signatory for all of WC, BAC legal documents and bank accounts. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
A second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And which of our executive directors would like to talk about the action item?
The new guy's cutting his teeth on this one.
I'll take this one. As you can see, is in the action item, we have a game loan request, Putnam's Maple Service, for an expansion of 7,500 additional maple taps. That'll bring their total to 62,000. And the request to purchase you can see here right on it, a 2007 Kenworth former milk truck with a 6,000 gallon tank to haul the sap that they're going to get from the 62,000 taps. They're also going to need 100 sensors to be installed on the newly acquired property that they're using. And that's an amount of 30,000. So 50,000 for the truck, 30,000 for the purchase of the sensors. Again, this is Putnam's Maple Service, according to Bridget Putnam and their son Kevin. They plan to create, they have 2 full-time and 6 seasonal employees, and they plan to create 2 full-time and 9 seasonal employees for the additional taps. And on the proposed information, they requested a total $80,000 loan, 1% over 10 years. And they're asking to make 2 biannual installments, so that'd be $4,200.02, 58 cents. Sorry, $4,202.58 that they would pay twice a year, because that's what they get paid from their maple sale.
They sell virtually all their maple syrup upstate Vermont. And they do 2 shipments a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. That's why he makes 2 payments. And we have our current loan with them, as you've seen on the loan report.
Current,
Yeah, he's been current, he's been very good borrower.
Initial loan was 90,000, it's now 27.9, so he's making good progress.
He does a lot with Cornell Cooperative Extension as well, teaching the young people about maple syrup business and understanding, the operation of it and so on. So it's an educational opportunity as well.
It's growing that business. We're number 2. I think we border between number 1 and number 2 in maple in the state.
I think he's the largest.
I think he is.
He is now.
He's got it
Yeah.
up with this, he would be,
Yeah. He's just a neighbor of ours and he has a really nice operation.
Just so the board knows, the terms that were described by Scott, the 1% over 10 years, this is the gain loan, and those terms are set in policy that were established through the grant program from New York State. We got the grant dollars for the gain loan. So,
So say he has a loan with us currently, I don't see it listed when I'm missing.
it's under Whispering
It's
Brook.
Oh, Whispering Brook.
Yes,
First
it is.
Department, yeah.
Right, that's the other,
Yeah.
that's the part.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we're, I don't know, we talked to council recommending security interest in, this would be an update of the UCC filings that we already have for him. So it'd be Putnam's Maple Syrup, Whispering Brook Farms, and a first lien would be the only lien on the 2007 Kenworth truck, and personal guarantees from Gordon, Bridget, and Kevin, all signatories on the application, as well as business guarantees from both LLCs. Special thanks to Tompkins for doing the analysis on the project.
Yeah. Mark Merrill was the original commercial loan officer that brought us in on the first project, and then Megan Radwell took over for Mark, and so she kind of keeps a tab on our dollars as well. She was involved with the Keene Dairy one as well when we did that game loan. She tries to save her customers some dollars when she can. That's why I think they're looking at this.
Looks like their income is quite volatile, isn't it?
It is, they had a couple difficult years between 04 and 05, but
Well, just in 22, they had 850,000, almost 860,000 in revenue. It could be price too, I have no idea.
just on the vehicle side.
Yeah.
4
It's
and
not,
5,
yeah,
but they,
Yeah.
they believe that in 06 with the new taps, that'll bring in 43 to 48,000 dollars more net profit to cover the cost.
Where is Wolcott Woods?
That'd be, I think, Dale.
was that where he's going?
He pulls it from Dale, he goes along with it, Dell,
Rushford.
gotta go Rushford and Dell. He's got lots.
Goes all over.
Is Wolcott Woods in this county?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I was.
yes,
Doug Wolcott probably getting out of the business.
I think you're right.
We used to help to Gordon.
Are there any comments on this application? Any further discussion? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to.
I'll make it.
I'm not going to. As outlined in item 3A. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I
Like a
second,
second,
I guess.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And if you look at 4A, there's been a request by community action to have the BAC forgive the balance of $200,000 loan made to Action Enterprises in 2009.
So,
Could you enlighten us a little on that? Because
somewhat, yes. I don't have the full history with that, of course, but Action Enterprise borrowed a total of 200,000 back as far as 2010. And they repaid 50,000 in 2012, with a balance of 150,000. There's been a total of $72,312 in interest payments paid over the life of the loan to date. So the total with that, with the 50,000 and 72, total of 122,312.52 paid to Action Enterprises. And now asking that we forgive the $150,000 balance of the note. So we came up with some ideas as far as what to do with that. Maybe some food for discussion, I guess. Consider, we wrote the notes on it, considering the interest of the $72,312, pay that as a credit towards the principal balance. That would leave them $77,687 outstanding on the loan. And then either forgiving the remaining balance or requiring the payment of the remaining balance, principal only payments for the remainder of the note. And they could continue that with the annual amount that they're paying now, $4,875, only applying that to principal, or re-amortizing it over 16 years with payments of approximately $405 a month, and only applying it to principal, or amortizing it for shorter periods of time. So 10 years and 15 years, which we have the numbers on that second page. So rather than just forgiving it, acknowledging that they're having trouble paying it, and they're only paying principal or interest, they had only been paying interest, acknowledge it, credit it, kind of rejig the whole thing, and so we don't have to forgive it.
Why?
Just,
First, I have so many questions, but
sure. Shoot.
what brought this on? Why was this why did the ask happen? And then why would they believe that they could ask?
So they've been asking several times over several years to have it forgiven, and it's kind of always been no. Which,
So just some history on this, and some of the people around this table will remember Marty Newgert.
I remember it very well. I can tell you the whole story, but I don't know if you want it on television.
Let's just say he borrowed the money through Action Enterprise, which is a private corporation affiliated with Community Action. And he borrowed the money to do the demo work of the Champion building on Tempest Street in Perry to make way for the subsidized housing development in Perry. He started paying it, he paid off $50,000, and then discovered that maybe he needed the money someplace else more, and stopped paying. And then from then on, they just started paying interest only. Every executive director that has taken this seat since, and there have been many, I make sure I get a call into them and say, hey, by the way, I want to let you know Action Enterprises owes us $150,000. So when Vicki took over as a new CEO, I let her know about the situation.
Jim, do you think that the new executive directors were ever made aware of this financial situation?
ahead of time.
Probably not.
So what is the affiliation between Action and Community? Like
They must,
Marty's, I mean, if he's
Who's
the
the
business owner,
they have to be.
are they contracted? I don't understand.
They're
Oh, it was a board of directors.
single member of that. Yeah, there's Community Action is the sole member of Action Enterprises. So they still own it. It's theirs, but it's a for-profit arm versus the nonprofit.
There's been a lot of borrowing from Peter to pay Paul historically with this. And now it's just kind of getting caught up to them, and they thought, well, let's just ask and see if we can have this thing taken away.
They're asking me.
I would like my mortgage paid off too. So.
Yeah, ideally, and I think my.
Put it on next week's agenda.
Right. I mean, my feeling is I don't think it should just be forgiven personally, because while they are talking about all the wonderful things that they do, we also use the money to help small businesses and grow jobs. We help the county in another way, right?
Correct. And
So-
we help them.
Right. So we can leave it as it is, or that's what we gave some other thought scenarios to.
So explain community action to me. What are they and who owns them and
They're a 501c3,
which
and
means?
so they're not a profit organization.
Okay,
Their mission is, I don't think we can bring that in there, but their mission is essentially, they're a gap agency for where social services can no longer cover. So they do housing, they have the Angel Action Program, well, they still have it,
Angel Action's still in existence.
It still exists.
Once Pat,
but they don't, not like it used to.
No, they don't do.
They do weather
They have like
programs.
they have clothing,
They have a
furniture.
food pantry element, and they operate, many of those programs, they operate on grant dollars and fundraising. So
and they borrowed money from us to fund community action.
The building,
what was it to build initially?
property.
The money was borrowed to tear down the old Champion plant on
Okay.
Pepper Street. To make room
And
for
it
the
could-
building of community action subsidized housing, which is called Champion Place,
With the intent that he was gonna redevelop that and pay us back with the revenue from that.
ideally.
That didn't happen.
I
So
mean,
there's
over the
no
years-
income for at this entity?
No.
Currently?
So
Where
no
is
assets.
he?
There
Does
was,
he
there was a
pass,
grant,
or
there was a grant that they received.
He seemed to take it.
Did he guarantee it?
Gotta be in jail, other than that.
I just wondered if
Right.
he personally guaranteed that.
They used
That
to have
amount.
the daycare down there.
You said there was a grant? There was a-
Yeah, they had a grant, so it was in anticipation though, when we originally did the note, they had asked for $125,000. And they were,
yeah, he's
they
fired.
had,
He wasn't,
this is in the brownfield
Okay.
program with this, and they applied
Yeah,
for
this
a
is-
grant, and they got a grant.
those guys
Um,
worked.
The following year, they'd asked for an additional $75,000 for some more costs that had come up that they didn't know, but at the same time, we were under the understanding that they were getting the grant, to pay back the money. And, we never heard anything for a while, and then we found out that they did get the money, but they didn't pay us.
How long ago was this?
2011.
It was, I'm sure Doug could give us check reverse, but it was a little scandalous, I thought.
If we turn the camera off.
Look up these three payment plans.
That's it.
There's three payment plans here.
So those are just some, we were
Just ideas,
Just put them
brainstorming.
together.
We were brainstorming on the backside of the letter, just to say, if you had any thoughts or ideas or wanted some options about, rather than saying, do nothing, keep paying as is, or,
I guess our thinking was, if anybody knows community action, they don't have two pennies to rub together.
Right.
But somehow they've been managing to pay interest only every year. So we thought, well, let's give them credit for the interest that they paid over these years, which is almost half of it.
Mhm.
And then we'll turn that into the principal payment. You keep paying that same amount like you always have been, but we'll put it towards your principal. And once you pay that off, it's over.
Where in essence, it would be an interest-free loan,
It'd
really,
be,
which is
yes, but we get our money back.
One way or
exactly.
another, you get money. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, because we
Get the
can't,
money.
you can't encumber their assets, they don't have any.
They don't.
Right.
At one time, the Kathy Bayless gave them that building over there called the Cornerstone Perry.
And someone's looking to buy it.
Yeah, and I told Marty at the time, I said, well, are you gonna pay us off? Because he was thinking about selling the building. I said, you're gonna pay us off on our loan? And he said, well, I kind of mortgaged the building.
He orders every property.
And then had a board of directors, and they let him do it.
This is a gift to him, but we do get our money
I
back.
don't think
I'm-
he's
I'm with
losing any
you.
sleep over it,
Fires all this,
unfortunately.
especially like Bryce says, if somebody paid my mortgage off. The other side of it is, it does fill a huge void in this county
It does.
as far as underserved people are.
Yes.
And believe it or not, there are a lot of people that fall through the cracks of DSS because they don't meet the income standard or over the standard, whatever the hoop the state has them jumping through. So you've got, single mothers with a couple kids and thrown out of the house and no place to go. And it's a Friday night or a Saturday night and they're looking for some, they come in and fill that.
Gotcha.
You can't put a price on that.
Right.
So if there's a saving grace to do it, that would be it, because it is a big help to them. And believe me, I'm no bleeding heart, but I've been around it long enough to know that they do a lot of good. And it's true, and as Jim said, every new director, I give them a call. They're up against it before they ever open the front door. And all of these properties were given to the community action, and they all have loans against them, mortgages.
And they all need upkeep and maintenance.
That unit bit building, where they're located, that was given to them.
Yeah.
And then Bayless gave them Cornerstone.
Yeah.
And she gave them money. So here we are.
I just would like to hold him accountable. If he personally guaranteed
He's
it,
not
You're a
involved.
better man than anybody else, because nobody's been able to pin him down yet, so.
He's not really involved at all.
right, but if he still is affiliated with Action, with that for-profit company,
No, he's out.
No, he resigned.
He retired.
He's long
I
gone.
know Community Action he did, but that's a 501c3. The business that we lent the money to is a for-profit business. Who owns that business?
Community Action does. So he, as the executive director of Community Action, he was the signatory for that operation.
But
So when
he wasn't the sole member.
No. So when he retired, it was no longer.
So we
his
can't hold
problem.
him accountable.
He disappeared into the darkness. He's a magician.
So that's why every executive director that's come along.
They inherit it.
It's in
Yeah,
their
they
portfolio,
do.
they
Yep.
inherit the
They're,
problem.
they're dead in the water before they get started.
Right? They just-
And this new girl is, I think, Becky, don't you think she's doing
Very-
the best she can to
She's
Yeah.
build
very,
that?
very good, she's trying
She
really
is
hard.
very professional, very
Right,
ambitious. Yeah.
and it was probably right of her to ask, but, we still have to think about what we can do with the money. So we're kind of acknowledging the good that they do in the community by taking what they have paid and applying it to principle and saying, okay, we'll rejig this so that it helps you, it really does, it helps them get out of it faster.
Right, they can keep paying and
Right.
it'll eventually be paid off.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
I
do
like
too.
that.
I do too. I think that's the fairest way.
Did we make a record of doing this every year? Reducing the loan by the interest?
No,
No,
we
we
just
haven't
have,
done it.
no, we just have the record of every,
Interesting.
No, but I'm saying in our minutes, that type of thing. Is there any action taken by the board?
In the financials, it would always show up.
Yes.
We
I don't
received-
think there's any discussion of this nature that got into the minutes.
Now, they would get an invoice at the end of the year for, the 3.25 to the $150,000, which was $48.75, and they would pay that every year. And the way I looked at it is back in 2011, interest rates on bank accounts were in the tank. And I always thought, well, we're making more money on that 150 than we would if it was in our bank. But the last couple of years would have been, a little bit different, but, they did pay it and the interest, and they do good for the community. So I think, give them the credit for it. But the way we would have to do it, I think, we may have to write off that amount, but because we're giving credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that get disclosed to the public record?
Well, as far as public record, I mean,
You're doing it right now?
we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a motion and
Yeah.
a second, and you guys approve
Yeah.
a modification of the debt, right, then we'd have to paper it, right, and issue a replacement note
Yeah.
on
That's a
that
precedent. I mean, I get the they're good that they do, but I don't know, I'm really confused by it, to be honest with you.
Do we have other 501c3s that could see something like this and
Bert Heinrich. You've been on here for 25 years.
That's a great question.
You did some deferrals though, right, Jim? You guys-
Yeah.
When we had COVID, you guys deferred.
Yeah.
Several of the loans, right, and made them, I think they were just interest only, or maybe we deferred interest and principal.
Deferred
So-
the payments.
So there's some historical precedence for modifying loan terms in different situations. It's not directly applicable, but it's happened before. We've done a lot of occasions.
We've got flexibility because we're not government, we're not regulated like a bank would be, that kind of thing. So we're our own entity. We make up the rules as long as it complies with state regulations.
From a legal point of view, would you recommend putting this in effect by signing papers agreeing to this?
Yes,
you would need a full new
Yes.
contract?
I would, because it
Because
would
I
be.
don't think we've ever done that.
We have, yes, well, I think in the loan program, we did have them countersign no modification agreements, right, when we were doing that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah, so no, we would want to go back to them and have them affirmatively agree to what we're doing, so that this is, it's essentially papering it, and Scott said, this does help them. It does, I mean, if you convert it,
There's a light at the end of the
yeah,
tunnel for
that's
us.
right, that's
Where
right,
Right now, there isn't.
now,
Yeah,
so,
I-
yeah, we pay for it, Judge, for sure. We have to pay for it.
I would insist upon it. I think
Yep.
if-
Oh, 100%, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But the question is, do we get a reputation of being too lenient? Look, we all lend money to friends and family, and we all know that they're gonna pay us back. So do you wanna have that kind of reputation, or do you wanna have some, look, can't get away with it.
I mean, I'm the banker, I don't have any past dues, but
Mortgage.
I guess that's what
I
I'm
wouldn't
trying to-
take
how
that
different-
job.
Yeah, how
If
different is
I
that?
was the last one standing and that was disclosed to me at the table, I would walk out the room. I wouldn't take an executive director or CEO position knowing that I'm already not in good standing with an entity logo. It'd be a deal breaker for me. So if this is something, I mean, I don't know her. I did meet her at an event a couple weeks ago, but I would think she wouldn't ask if she wasn't thinking that they're stuck, trapped.
The irony is, this rarely gets disclosed to the new executive director. Because every executive director I've reached out to about this came as a complete surprise.
Jim has ruined days of several executive directors.
Hey, it's our money, we gotta be watchdogs for it,
I mean, in essence, all you're doing is
Give our
making it an
managers
interest-free loan.
Right.
Really. You're just backdating it.
Do they do,
It's
I mean,
0%.
I don't know them enough to say that they're good, they're good for the community. You convinced me that they are.
They
They are.
absolutely are.
So, I know contractors that won't do business with them, so, because they don't.
And that's
get paid.
why. They don't get
They
paid.
don't get paid.
Right.
So, as just a citizen and a board member, it's hard for me to make a decision on it. And having past experience lending money as a friend or family, we're not a friend or family here.
I joined Pelican visiting houses. Somebody comes in on Friday night at 10 o'clock with two kids.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna put them out, I'm not gonna put them out.
If this is the organization that's supporting that, I
They take
can't.
care of them, yeah.
No question. I've never heard that they couldn't help somebody. Have you?
No.
Yeah, they go out of their way.
Unless you want them stopping up your house, why,
And we
this is
just,
where it needs to be.
and they were at the table when we had the meeting last week, twice on the stand.
And SNAP, and
Yeah.
then they have the winter coat drives, they have,
Right.
I mean, there's a lot that they do that would probably be missed
If they did exist, yeah.
And DSS would
People
be the first.
can't pay their electric bill.
Yeah.
Or a utility bill. They'll step in, whether it's with the village or the power company or whoever, I know that.
They come-
It's things you don't hear about.
Absolutely, right.
And it's a last stop.
It's a safety net, I get it, yeah. And it's not public
And
mail.
it'd be one thing if, we didn't have any money here.
Yeah, right.
Sitting on
And,
millions of
well,
dollars.
Sure.
The money came pretty easy, that windmill thing, and that's what it was for, is to help the community. And this is a drop in the bucket compared to what we have and what could be coming,
Gotcha.
and we're not letting them off the hook scot-free.
That's right.
When you look at these gain holds, that's 1%, what's the difference between 1 and 0?
That's true.
I mean,
And it is-
what the heck?
And it's a not-for-profit. I mean, due to the
The
actions.
parent agency,
Yeah.
yes.
And another thing is that I'm sure it isn't easy to recruit some. We all know how hard it is to hire people.
Absolutely.
And Becky, you gotta be impressed with this Sandy.
Victoria?
Is that her name, Vicky?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vicky, I'm
Yeah,
thinking. So,
yeah.
but there's people, you aren't gonna get people with that kind of passion to, she's been at our, the board meetings, the committee meetings.
And she's out for fundraisers and
She
stuff.
came from
And
the
she just
Charlotte
did the
House.
veterans thing.
Yeah, Charlotte House, right?
So I'm in on it, but
So then it comes
Take a
down to,
minimum payment.
you do the term is what,
I like the option one.
What do we do?
have Kevin draw it up.
Option one.
Deal with
I
that.
think we can do this using Scott's layout here, we just have to kind of circle the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Right, so it's.
So if you're going to use it as a credit, it's 1,
3, right?
and then one of A, B, or C under 3.
So it's really like 1A. So A keeps the current, that's what they've been paying.
Right.
along.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
right.
see. You did one and then 2 or 3.
3A.
So
Okay, so
you
one
pick
and
one.
then 3A.
Yeah,
So, right, so one is accepting the amount and applying, what they paid, applying them towards the loan.
that's right.
Right.
What is the term of the loan now?
It was 3.25%.
No,
the
term.
The term, the year.
It was probably 10 years.
I think it was supposed to pay it off in 2013.
Okay.
It's just been, yeah, it's.
Paid off in
No.
13?
No,
Well, you're behind.
I think it was 20,
It's long.
longer, 2021.
Long.
Bert,
So.
another thing is they receive
There's
anonymous cash donations. When I say they can pay somebody's utility bill, that isn't because they have the money. People, and it goes into an account.
501c3.
And luckily Marty Bucher isn't there to skim a percentage off.
And people make requests and.
Hey, say what you want. I'm telling you how it was.
Do you have any kind of a feel, have you had any talks with her about how they're positioned and what kind of payment suits them better? You know, like barely making ends meet and then they just pray to be able to make the annual payment? Or would it be better for them to do a monthly payment? Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
do.
Like how they budget, I don't know what their budget runs.
That's what I was thinking, because the 16-year term is still the 48.75 a year, and it would take them 15.96 years to pay it off, so that's why I did the 16-year term. But in the 10-year or the 15-year, they would be paying more than what they're paying now. So, Scott and I discussed that maybe we should give them that option to pay what they're paying now. So it's not gonna hurt them anymore, but and if they can either pay it, once a year, or like they have been, or they can pay it in monthly payments.
It's the same, so.
Gotta be up to them how they can handle it. I mean, you don't know what their finance is, so.
Would it be easier for them to give you $400 a month? Instead of accumulating 4,800?
Because they're doing that now.
Cause you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
we're paying
contract,
48.75
the
now.
contract's gonna have to state what.
So we can go back, I mean, if you're in principle, if you're agreeable to 1A, and and then.
or B or C.
Yeah,
We can check in with them and say, okay, this is what we do, how do we wanna set up the term?
Yeah.
That's
Go back to what Doug said, what's the easiest payment for them?
right,
Amen.
because we'll still get where we're going,
Work with them,
they'll get what they need, we'll just figure out.
let's get some cash
So
in.
let Scott negotiate with them, as long as we get our dollar for dollar money back.
right.
It's called money for somebody else. That's what we're
There's not
doing.
gonna be any interest rate, so we don't need the blessing on an interest rate, it's just gonna be the principal, and it's just a matter of working out how they're gonna, how many years. And
I think it's a good solution. I appreciate you educating me on that. Very helpful.
Well, it's the truth.
Do they need a-
Martin Newman's got a
They
problem,
should.
but he knows where I'm at.
Yep.
I'll fill him in.
And again, it's a subject to them agreeing.
A year ago,
So,
Right,
Yeah.
it's contingent on their.
Contingent on their agreement,
Agreement otherwise they
because until you change the deal by paper, the old long term still exists. So, yeah, it's an agreement.
Were you were in the meeting when I said, what happened to the weatherization program?
Yeah.
So they had a weatherization.
Yeah, where did that go?
Because,
They don't have the funds?
yeah, but they transferred, the state transferred it to Genesee County.
Yeah.
Because
It's not done anymore.
this was so mismanaged.
So they cover it.
Well, they didn't say that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what elderly person is
I'll
gonna
say
reach out to Genesee
That's
County
what
from
happened.
Wyoming
Yeah,
County?
no, and then
Correct.
hopefully they refer,
Hopefully.
I assume they do, because that's because there's usually a community action agency for each county. I think, is it Genesee and Orleans, are they together?
They merged.
They're
Yeah.
together, yes, yes. So kind of a scale there.
Oh, and that weatherization is in conjunction with social services. That's how it works. So the social services department, Genesee County administers it for Wyoming County.
That's,
Well,
that's sad.
it
Allegheny
certainly-
County has it and,
it is sad.
and
And
is able
And
to
you can see-
keep it.
what the progression has been since, with poor management, let's just leave it at that.
Too bad.
Kevin, could we ask you to draft some documents and so we can present this, assuming that we want to do it?
Yeah.
We can present that, get some signatures.
So do you want to have a motion now? Authorize you
Could
to
phrase it
negotiate?
The way you're gonna write it up?
Yeah, so the motion, I think here is from the board to authorize Scott to apply the interest payments that have been made as a credit against the principal balance of the note, which would leave $77,687.48 left, and then negotiate with the borrower the terms of repayment of that amount, subject to written modification of the loan itself. So that's I'll put that in the minutes for these guys, or Robin's got it written down, but that, I think, is what you guys have talked about in substance.
Just need a motion.
So,
I'll make that
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any negatives? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I, motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting, December 11th, right after the IDA meeting.
So I was coming back.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. No, I was coming back to take it.